Hello, Danny. Um, really good video. I liked a lot of what you said. Some things I wrote down that I would like to talk about is one, the you mentioned how both characters are um similarly experiencing like a rejection or dejection from society. And I think that that's something that I didn't think about at all really. Obviously, like they don't feel very I guess like they don't feel in touch, like with their well, I guess for Sandra in Skin, I feel like it's hard for her to feel in touch with like who she is because, the world is, society is telling her like she is one thing um in different areas of her life, whereas Vera Drake, she is different cuz there's race doesn't really play a role in that movie, but she definitely I could see where like she is like, this little sweet old lady figure, like mom figure, and having her family and then also like, the police and just having to go to trial like that in itself, is scary. Those things, like can make someone feel like they don't fit anymore in society. Like, she's done something so vile that she goes to jail. Like she must just have been an awful human even though she was trying to help people. Um and then it was interesting your point about her character. And you said that it kind of like the film at the end kind of absolved her character. And I definitely can see where you're coming from, from the points you've made. Um, I definitely get that. I also, though, I think that a lot of the times, I feel like that's what we want in movies. Like we want a good ending. We want what we're used to, which is most of the times, like especially if it's like a if it feels like a typical like Hollywood movie where it's just telling a story. I think that a lot of times like it a good story or a good ending, is what everyone wants. And I feel like we can always like take that in and after a movie feel good, right? Like it's hard to feel uneasy with an ending that or it's easy to feel, strange with an ending that is, doesn't end good because you're kind of sitting there wondering like why did I watch this? Now I feel like, you know, I don't know the word. I just feel unfulfilled, I guess, is what someone could take, right? But I think that, you know, not having like her character being crushed and absolved into like, like what she became after she found out, after she was caught. I think that that shows a lot about like not only people and how, sometimes they can't recover from certain things. Especially for her, in her case, she was sexually assaulted when she was younger, and you know, all these years, like probably no one has said that to her, besides a cop, and it crushed her. And I think beyond like what it says about people, I think in films, in general, I think a lot of people, and even me to this day, but I think as the years go by, I have learned to, when there's an ending that, I either don't agree with or it's just straight up sad or like it kind of leaves you hanging. I think I've learned and appreciated to accept that, because, films not always but can be a reflection of, like of life. They can imitate life or whatever. And I think that, films that don't have the greatest ending can be a good learning point for people. Um, so yeah, that was that. And then I also like that you pointed out that like we visually people we kind of tend to judge like as a result of like having to visually look at someone and figure out like who they are just by what we see with our eyes and what our, mind decides to like, I don't know, I guess like what our mind decides to like piece together what we think we know about someone based on their looks. So yeah, thank you for pointing that out because I think that it's really hard to recognize that you're doing that in the moment, and sometimes after the moment, until someone points that out that people do naturally tend to do that. So yeah, that's all. Thank you.